I'm Jennifer Lee Levitz, and this is Unleash the Power of Age, a show about and for the Rose Baker Senior Center, the programs and activities. We have a terrific guest today. He's someone who shows up almost every Thursday, and he entertains us at Rosie's Cafe. We'll talk more about Rosie's Cafe, but I can't wait for everybody to meet Malcolm Ingram. Hello, Malcolm.
Hello, Jennifer.
He's too charming. Anyway, Malcolm, you are obviously not from here. You are from where?
Originally, London, England.
Yes.
Where I was born. And, grew up in the suburbs, went to college in London and had a career in London before I came over here.
And that career was?
I was an actor in London.
An actor in London.
and in the UK and, Scotland and Ireland.
And your wife is an actor also.
Yeah, that's right. We both did it and still do it. So, yeah.
So how did you get here?
Back in '83 or something like that. A bunch of English actors in London, we all went to a workshop which was run by two visitors from the USA. One was a voice teacher called Kristen Linklater, and the other was a director, producer, actress called Tina Packer.
Right.
And they were actually engaged. They founded a company which is still going strong in Lenox, Massachusetts, called Shakespeare and Company.
Right.
And they'd come over to do a workshop with this bunch of London actors, and I was one of them, and we were about 15. And I loved the work. I'd done quite a bit of Shakespeare, but this work was different. What I loved about it was, I suppose it was much more focused on the breath, and having the breath, the support of the breath, and the breath being able to put you in touch with yourself, perhaps, in a more physical, emotional way, which made it easier to connect with the language, like Shakespeare's language, And I'd done Shakespeare, but suddenly I found I really could feel these words. I understand what they mean. I think I can use them to express whatever is being expressed in the text. So I really liked this work, and I thought, and I talked it over with my wife, and we thought, why don't you train with Kristen? And then when you're out of work in London, right?
Which we all are, always.
Right, which you can do some teaching. And I thought, that's a good idea. So we went over to the States, and I stayed for a year working with Kristen and, getting this method, this teaching method under my belt, under my skin. And of course, I'd never done any teaching, so I had to practice and did some gigs in Massachusetts, sort of, depping for people at BU and Emerson, I think. And then I heard about this job. Somebody was looking for a voice teacher, a Linklater teacher at Syracuse University in the drama department. And I got that job. We were teaching in the theater department, teaching voice for actors, which is breathing and, resonance and projection and dealing with language, So I was working on Shakespeare mostly, a lot with the kids.
Oh, great.
Sort of getting them to learn how to handle language and, enjoy it and make it their own and so on. I was there for 31 years.
Wow.
In 1990, we managed to get green cards, which then meant we could do something else as well as teach. So that's when we were able to start acting again.
Okay. Okay.
And we could do that in the summers and when we weren't teaching. And also...
Wait a minute. So that was you and that gorgeous wife of yours who were taking all the parts that were meant for me.
Right. Well, we mostly worked at Shakespeare and Company and in the Berkshires in the summer.
Yeah.
But of course, there was a professional theatre in the same building as the drama department at Syracuse.
Yes.
So occasionally we would get a job doing some acting there as
So
well.
this was a nice life, and you
Yeah.
did it for quite a while.
Yes, and we retired in 2016 and came to Gloucester. And we came to Gloucester because we'd been up here and we really liked it. We wanted to be by the sea, and of course there's nowhere better. And our son lives an hour away in Framingham.
So close, but not too close.
Exactly.
Nice.
Yep. But they can come up to the seaside, you know, his wife and kids. And it's near Boston, you know, and there's some work in Boston. Yeah. You know, I've done 2 or 3 shows in Boston, acting shows.
It's interesting that there's a shorthand there that it's like there's work in Boston, and an actor saying there's work in Boston means there's some place to
there
be.
might be some work in Boston.
Might be a little bit from time to time. Yeah.
Yeah.
So in the meantime, you're here on Cape Ann,
Yep.
and one day you walked into Rose Baker.
Yeah, do you know, I can't exactly remember the first time I entered Rose Baker. It might have been to do a Tai Chi class, which I do every Tuesday morning there with Carla Mattioli,
Yes,
who's a wonderful teacher.
she's a really good teacher.
And so I do, that might have been the first time. That's every Tuesday morning at 9 o'clock.
How did you hear about that class? I just want to digress for a second. Can you picture how you
I think
heard
because
about
my wife, Lizzie, I think she was doing a yoga class with Carla.
Okay,
Which I now do, but that's in Manchester.
okay.
And I think that was the connection. And I think Lizzie said, "Do you want to come to this Tai Chi class?" And I said, "Sure." So because I'd done some Tai Chi, like, you know, decades ago in London, and so I thought, yeah, this would be good, and it's great. So that was probably my first regular connection to the senior centre.
I just picked up a lovely connection with some of the other courses that we have.
Well, that Tai Chi class is great.
The Tai Chi classes
For
are
breathing,
great.
for breathing.
Nana Dunn does 2 classes a week about that are based on the breath, placement and breathing and the positioning of the body, and what a difference it makes just for one's everyday life. You don't have to be doing Shakespeare to have breathing make a difference.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It makes it so you can sing.
Yes. Helps with singing.
And makes us happy. Singing makes us happy. I know it makes me happy.
And then I also, you know, I like singing and playing my ukulele. I have a few ukuleles. I'm a bit of a collector. And I've just always enjoyed singing. You know, I've done singing professionally in musicals and things, but I just like singing all those old standards, you know, the great American songbook sort of songs, mostly.
I do too. I just adore it.
And playing the uke, and I do that, and I just wanted to do it for people, so I did. I went to see Lucy at the Rose Baker Senior Centre, and I said, could I come down and, you know, play while people are having lunch or something? She said yes, so I did. Thursday lunchtime seems to be a good time, and, you know, a good venue.
Oh, it's perfect.
So I've been doing it, you know, and it's just, I enjoy it. And I think, you know, it's not too much of a distraction from talking and having lunch. So, you know, seems to work out well.
I'm glad, because it's awfully fun to sit there and have our Thursday. You know, the Thursday lunch is free. It's called Rosie's Cafe. So any senior can sign up. You have to sign up a couple of days ahead of time. But the lunch most days is $2, but on Thursdays, a donor has covered the cost of our lunch. So everybody can have a free lunch on Thursdays, along with the soup and salad. It's such a deal.
4 courses.
4 courses. I was going to say from soup to nuts. And on Thursdays, we get to listen to Malcolm sing and play. How about right now? Are you ready? It's really hard. We sit there eating, and I sit there singing along. And a lot of us sing along. It's terrific.
Okay. I'll do April Showers.
Okay.
This is Al Jolson, I think, made this famous. It's a
think
really
you're
old
right.
song, 1920s, early 1920s.
Yep, I think you're right.
Life is not a highway strewn with flowers. Still it holds a goodly share of bliss. When the sun gives way to April showers. Whoops. I'll do that bit again. When the sun gives way to April showers, here's the point that you must never miss. Though April showers may come your way, they bring the flowers that bloom in May. So if it's raining, have no regrets, because it isn't raining rain, you know, it's raining violets. And when you see clouds upon the hills, soon you may see crowds of daffodils. So keep on looking for the bluebird and listening for his song whenever April showers come along. Though April showers may come your way, they bring the flowers that bloom in May. So if it's raining, have no regrets, because it isn't raining rain, you know, it's raining violets. And when you see clouds upon the hills, soon you may see crowds of daffodils. So keep on looking for the bluebird and listening for his song whenever April showers come along. There.
We'll record a few extra minutes because I don't know if that'll be usable.
Well, I made a few fluffs at the beginning as well. So.
Well, we'll see. It's awfully fun. It's so much fun to have you there and to have that be going on. There's every week when we do the show, I try to encourage people to come to the senior center. And I have friends, they say, I wouldn't go there. That's for old people. And I keep wanting to say things like, have you looked in the mirror lately? You and your wife both go.
Mm-hmm.
What would you say to people to encourage them to go to Rosebaker?
Lots of people to meet, talk to. There's a whole bunch of activities, aren't there? I mean, I don't know the list. You probably know the list better than I do.
we could use a half an hour to almost just mentioning what goes on there.
But, you know, if you just want to sit and play cards or watch TV, I mean, you can do that too. There's a lot of energy in the place. It's good. It's a good vibe. And yeah, there's a nice kind of bright, sunny atmosphere. I think you'd be more cheerful when you left than you were before you went in. You know? Yeah. It's a nice place. There's a jazz band on Monday. Is it once a month or?
It's sometimes it's 3 times a month, sometimes it's twice a month,
Yeah.
sometimes it's once a month.
Right.
But
They're good.
They're really good.
Yeah. You know, a lot of old pros.
Old salty jazz band. You know, it's meant to be for people to dance.
Yeah.
There are a few people who dance.
Right. But it's good to listen to if you like jazz too, because they're good musicians.
They are.
Mm.
So what do you think? Why don't we put on a play at Rose Baker? I keep wanting to do that. I keep wanting to get some people. There are so many interesting people and characters walking around and in and out the doors every day. I just keep wanting to put them on the stage.
That would be a reality TV show.
Rather than a stage play, I suppose. I know we said only one song, but would you do another one and I won't sing? It's hard not to, but I'll sit back and if you would just pick one and it's all you.
Do you think I'll see you in my dreams or Blue Skies? Blue Skies?
Whatever you feel like. That's it. Really, either one, whatever you feel like.
I was blue, just as blue as I could be. Every day was a cloudy day for me. Then good luck came a-knocking at my door. Skies were gray, but they're not gray anymore. Blue skies smiling at me, nothing but blue skies do I see. Bluebirds singing a song, nothing but bluebirds from now on. Never saw the sun shining so bright, never saw things going so right, noticing the days hurrying by. When you're in love, my how they fly. Blue days, all of them gone, nothing but blue skies from now on. Thank you very much.
Okay. I think it's time. Malcolm, thank you for being here today.
It's time.
I really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
You're a terrific sport, and
well, thanks for the opportunity.
oh,
Nice.
the pleasure is mine. The pleasure is ours. And every Thursday you can come hear Malcolm play his ukulele and sing those lovely songs, and join in if you know the words, and hum along if you don't, and have your free lunch and your free soup and salad, and be an old fart with the rest of us. Whee!
Jolly good.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Awesome. Great. My name is Jenny Parisi. I was born on Beach Court. Now, a lot of people in Gloucester know where Beach Court is. And at the end of the street is Pavilion Beach. So most of the time, in this summertime, we have all these widows, and they're wearing black dresses. And it's so funny, at the time when I was young, we were all young kids there that live in that street. So they all went down the beach with their black dresses on. They never took them off. They always wore it all the time, day and night, all the time. And they went swimming, and they used to hold hands and swim around like kids, and dunking down and going up and back. It was so funny at the time because we were kids, and we loved it. So and they always went swimming a lot of times. They didn't care with the dresses on. And they had aprons besides. 'Cause they always had aprons in those days. I guess that's all I can remember about that. But it was a great street to live on. There was only about 12 houses, you know, and everybody knew each other, you know. It was great. We loved it. Everybody, we had fun. A lot of kids to play with. You know, everybody knew each other, you know. It was great. And it was so different the way things are now. You know, the kids don't have a good life like we did. We had a lot of fun. We used to have, everything was brought down to us. The foods came in the trucks, and some with horses. Some came with the horses. Well, most of them did come with horses because we didn't have many cars down that way in that time. And then we had the guy who sold the ice, and we would put the signs on the window that says 50 cents, 25 cents, or 75 cents, and that will tell him we want ice, so he knows how much to bring. So he would just automatically just come up there, because everybody had the sign up, whoever wanted ice that day. And then we had the guys who brought the dishes, all the silverware dishes, and that was another truck. And then we have the other guys who sharpened the knives and anything else, scissors, anything else, and he would ring his bell, and you knew he's there, so you go get your knife and have that ready. And then we had the meat guy who brought the meat. So we had everything came to us. We never had to go down Main Street. I didn't even know we had a Main Street till I was 13 years old, because my mother never brought us down there. So it was funny how things were in those days. We never knew that was our street, and that's where we stood. We always played with everybody. It was great. That's it.
I'm Mary Rhinelander McCarl, and I grew up on Eastern Point summers and thought I'd probably be a summer person all my life until I married Henry McCarl, who loves rocks and had actually majored in geology at MIT and come down here as a student. So he was more than happy to come here, retired. But the story I want to talk about was working with Junie here at the Senior Center. Well, we did a wonderful collection of 15 applique wall quilts for the neighborhoods of Gloucester. And I was privileged to work on the last 4 of them. And the most fun was City Hall. This was the downtown quilt. It's 6 feet high, 5 feet wide, and in the middle of it, at the top, is City Hall, made out of cloth and lace and decorative ribbons and all sorts of things. And it shows City Hall from the Dale Avenue side with the door. And at the top of the stairs is a plump little girl with black hair. And walking on Dale Avenue are people walking dogs, pushing baby carriages, just walking along. And in the sky are all there's one hawk and a whole lot of seagulls, as I remember. Now, the little girl with the black hair. When I made this, my contribution to this quilt, our mayor was Carolyn Kirk with blonde hair. And Lucy said to me, "Oh, no, you're going to have to change it because It's obviously the mayor, and she has blonde hair, but can't do that. Well, I didn't get around to it. Carolyn resigned, and guess who became mayor but Safatia? Safatia had grown up in the neighborhood, was delighted to think that I had done a premonition. I knew that she was going to be mayor of Gloucester. So she couldn't have been more happy to think that this was true. So I like to feel that I contributed to the political history of Gloucester as well as the artistic history of Gloucester. And that quilt and the other 14 are all in the, now belong to the Cape Ann Museum. And I hope they put them on display. It would be wonderful. We talk about possibly taking all 15 back to City Hall and hanging them from the balcony upstairs in the auditorium. So that's my story about the quilt making.
My name is Ida. Most of my life I was home and took care of my children, and then my children got married, went to work, and then I started babysitting. So I babysat for all my grandchildren. Then I had a babysit for my great-grandchildren. And I live on Front Street, and there's a playground there, so we had to go to the playground. And they were so cute. Well, Nana, you have to go on the slide. I said, no, I don't think so, honey. Oh, come on, Nana. Okay, so Nana went on the slide, down on my bum. That was a big mistake. But I loved every minute of it. It was just wonderful. Then I was done babysitting, and someone told me about the Rose Baker Center. I came to here, and I loved every minute. I make dolls, and we send them to the hospitals, Dana-Farber, everywhere. I even got to send them to Pennsylvania. My grandchildren had a liver transplant, and I got to bring the dolls there. We hand stitch every one of them. We have a pattern. We cut the fabric. We sewed the dolls all by hand. We put dresses on them. We made, just recently, we're going to send them to Pathway. So we're making boy dolls, and we're doing pants. I bet I've made about 300, at least. I try to make one every week, sometimes twice a week. And it's wonderful. I love it.